Attendance?
Yes, are we recording?
I just started it, yep.
Okay, great. Elaine Breslow,
Present.
Carolyn Coffey,
Here.
Steve Brown,
Here.
Catherine Harvey's here, Megan Brinzy,
Here.
Rayla Lawrence.
Here.
And we are missing, as we just said, Alex Viteri, Brooke Jewell, and Susan Hobson. All right, minutes. Did everybody look at the minutes?
Yes.
Any changes, comments, questions, additions?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Bronwyn, take it away.
Hello, everybody. I feel like it's been a while since we've met. Maybe it's just been busy or this summer, I don't know, but anyway, we have been super busy, a lot going on. It's just been a crazy time, but in a good way. So I'll just run through the things that I highlighted. I going all the way back to July 10th, we worked closed in the morning because of the flooding. Some people got a text. I thought it was from the Cohasset Police Department. It turned out it was not. It was from the state emergency services, and it said stay off the roads till 11:15. So I got that in the morning at maybe 8:30 or something. So I said, well, I assumed it was for us, so we closed, and actually the 3A was flooded, and that's where that car was broken down and was floating down the street. I'm on Linden Drive. Linden Drive was flooded as well. We couldn't really get out. So it was pretty bad in some areas. But the bigger issue was the communication of how do you decide to close, who makes that call? It's not really up to the police to say. They can say the roads are dangerous, but they don't know what kind of programming we have or who's coming. And so Ted from Rec was having a hard time deciding if he should close, and he was trying to get the fire department or the police department to say you should be closed, and they were not going to do that. That's not their role. So of course it was a perfect storm that no pun intended. Megan was on vacation in Maine, and it was hardly raining at all in Maine. It was a very localized, even within the town. The golf course got almost 6 inches of rain, and Beechwood got about 2 inches of rain. So just within the town, it was a wide variety of rainfall and flooding issues. So we had a meeting with emergency services, and kind of we tried to hash out who's making the call and what the process would look like. And basically they want each department to make their own call and decide if it's safe to open based on things like, I mean, one of our staff members lives in Whitman. I would be really hesitant to ask somebody to drive in from Whitman if it was a blizzard or something like that. So it's a lot of different aspects that go into the decision. So it was a pretty productive meeting, and they're going to work better on communicating to everyone in town, when the senior center is closed, or when, town hall or we're closed. So hopefully we won't have to deal with that again, but I wouldn't be surprised if.
So when school is in session though, if there is something, the school decides and then we follow what the school.
We do
says.
not follow what the schools do.
Oh,
That's
that's not
never,
me.
that's
So-
never been, no,
Yeah.
because we could be potentially a warming center for people, or because it may not be safe for the buses to go, doesn't necessarily mean it's not safe for people to be on the roads. Sometimes I usually have to check with DPW to see if the lots are plowed,
Right.
because they would make a priority would be the schools or the roads, things like that. So that's the problem, is there isn't one thing where you can say, well, if the schools are closed, then we're going to be closed. Usually we do follow if town hall is closed. That's kind of, we tie in with that. But again, if our lots are not plowed, we can't open.
Where are we on the list for being
I
plowed?
don't know exactly where we are on the list, but they do know, what time we open. And they try to be
And
sure
that
we
we're
have
an
that done.
emergency shelter.
And that we can be a warming center. we also can be a cooling center, although the air conditioning is not working very well, so we're not that cool. But, you know, so we would try to be open in instances where other departments might close. So it makes it a little difficult because almost every incident is different, which would be a lot better if we could just say, well.
And
schools are-
internet could be working here, but on Beach Street, it's not gonna be working, so we could.
Exactly, you can come down here, you can charge your phone, we don't have a generator, which I would think that would be wonderful to have, but, but as you all know, different parts of town may lose power, we might have it. Beechwood might not, people would wanna come down here and get warm or charge their phones or check out a book or something like that, so, it's an important topic and, we're still working on what the protocols are gonna be. But hopefully we won't have any incidents, at least for a while, till winter comes, but. Anyway, so moving on, we're gonna have the story walk out at the Beechwood Playground and, you know, that little corner out there, Sandra Perry asked me for their fall festival, if we could have it out there. And so, I gotta talk to facilities and ask them to move it. But Sharon's picked a book that is, appropriate for fall, and then it's just gonna stay in and it's gonna go over to the pumpkin patch, so it's gonna move there. So, I think it'll be great, it's good advertising and, it's a great use of the,
Hopefully that general store will be open by then.
I know, yeah, it seems like it has been taking a while to go up, but it's gonna be on that little triangle across from the baseball field is where they would like us to have it, so. We are a cooling center, we've been still purchasing the boxed water, and hopefully we'll get the hydration station in place and we won't have to keep doing that. We did lose some of our databases, but Jen checked some of the numbers and we decided to pay for the Globe archive. I think it was about $1,000. About $1,000. It got by far the highest usage numbers. So we felt like it'd be worth it to purchase that. And then we also just started Pronunciator, which we've had before, and it's an online language platform. And we've been trying to push it when we do passports. We have a whole sheet now that is like, are you traveling? We have travel books. We have this pen that's a translator pen, so you can speak into it, but you can also, if you're reading a menu, you can run the pen along and it will translate what the menu says.
Really?
No,
Which would be really
Cool.
helpful. When I've been in France, we've ordered things that we've ended up with frog's legs and we thought they were some mushroom salad or something. It can be very tricky, so, we're just kind of promoting those kinds of things that, add-ons sort of, if you are getting passport, here's some things that you can use, that we offer, so. The Reading Nook art project is moving along. I don't know if anybody saw that. It's really being spearheaded by the planning office. We don't really have much to do with it, but we're waiting. We put out the request for the proposals, or they have, and they'll come in, I think, in the fall, and then we'll get a chance to see what people are suggesting that they do.
Who's gonna make the decision on who gets it?
There's gonna be a little committee, and so it
Will the
will
library-
be, library will be involved, it's Cassandra Thayer is the town planner, and she is the one that, decided to do this little grant, or got the funding for it. So she was suggesting she would be involved, or someone from her office, we would be involved, and then also getting someone with art background, like someone from the South Shore
Arts
Arts
Center.
Center, something like that,
Yeah.
someone who has
Yeah,
some knowledge
crucial.
besides just what we like, and we don't know, it is for $12,000, so. Hopefully someone will feel like that's a reasonable amount of money to. do
And that was a
work.
grant awarded to the town,
To the
not to
town,
us.
yeah, not to us, to the town, yeah, she did all the work for it.
Oh, wow.
We didn't have really anything to do with it, other than she said, I think with the way they wrote it was a little generic, and then they came to us and said, could we use the front lawn? We think that'd be a great spot for it. And so if we had said no, they probably could have put it someplace else, but we think it would be really
How
fun.
permanent will it be?
It's only for, so the grant closes in the fall, then there's the decision making, then once we decide, then they have to manufacture it, and it would probably be installed in the spring and stay through the summer to the next fall, so maybe 6 to 9 months, something like that.
And then
It's
what?
not,
And then it just.
and then they
disappears?
the person has to take it away. It's-
So
yeah.
how will
And
that work with the pavilion?
It shouldn't impact, it'll be over here. They'll be
Okay,
over here,
okay, it'll be
yeah.
in the front.
It'll be in the
Okay.
front, yeah, and they're kind of envisioning, the ones that we'd looked at, the other libraries had done is sort of interactive seating, so you could sit out there. Some of them had things that the kids could interact with, like chimes or climbing areas and that kind of thing, so it's sort of a,
So it's not
Yeah.
really a reading nook.
yes, it is, but it could be, it's somewhere like book shaped, or, something library related, that sort of thing. So it's a piece of art that you can also use. Sit on, or sit in, or climb on, or something like that. It's kind of, I think it's a really cool idea,
Hmm.
and, we'll see what people come up with.
Yeah.
But I will keep you posted, when I see what's come in. Sharon has been just absolutely killing it. She had more than 2,000 attendees in July alone. And that was with 3 programs canceled because it was too hot. So I don't know how she does it. I'm just always in awe of her and her energy, and she just does such an amazing job. So
So we thank her by sitting her at the circ desk.
I know, but she doesn't
thought that
complain
was
ever.
funny.
She is
I
the
know,
best. She's
yeah,
really, I hope she's stays
Smiling
here
and
forever. She's
just-
got
yeah.
the best attitude, and we're just so grateful to have her. So I am actually, this week, the ARIS numbers are due, and I'm compiling all the statistics on our circulation, our program attendance, our holdings, what we have for materials, and, all those numbers, and I'll put together some kind of chart, so you'll see how we did this year, but I'm sure that her numbers will be up. She's really been very, very busy this year, so. And then the next thing we're talking about, we haven't really got a handle on what we want it to look like, but we've been thinking about, and maybe you guys will have some ideas. Next year, as you probably all know, is the 250th anniversary of the country, and we were thinking maybe we could do multiple programming over the first maybe 6 months of the year, culminating on 4th of July, with some sort of just things to commemorate that. Kind of for a few reasons. We feel like libraries, and I think rightfully so, kind of have a reputation of being very progressive. We have Pride Month, we support all those kinds of things, and we don't really a lot of times talk too much about patriotic themes. We always get a hard time in June because we don't usually do a Flag Day sort of thing, and thought it might be nice to sort of promote that aspect, especially where we're in such a historical town. And Angela had seen that the Boston Tea Party does sort of a reenactment kind of thing, and you also get tea, is that?
Yeah,
right?
so, well,
It sounded really cool.
my oldest son is really into this stuff, so we are Hingham historical members, and we went to the Rev 250, the Boston Tea Party, so the celebration of the 250th of the Boston Tea Party. And then there they started all the Rev 250 stuff, and so I was just looking it up for Cohasset, because I'm like, well, the Historical Society here must do the same stuff. Hingham has all the events that we've been going to that celebrate the people that lived in Hingham that went to the Boston Tea Party. And I know my husband would get crazy about this, but yes, Cohasset was part of Hingham, so the people technically that lived in Cohasset were potentially people that went to the Boston Tea Party, and they have like stories. And so the Cohasset Historical Society, when I looked it up, did a little recon, was teaching the fifth graders here about the people who lived in town, who went to the Boston Tea Party, and they had a connection with the Boston Tea Party Museum in Boston and got those reenactors to come teach the fifth graders. And I was like, so they are doing the same stuff Hingham does, so why don't we try to find out, you know, what their in is with those reenactors and try to get them here? Maybe we could do something at the library.
So I know some of those guys.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I do, yeah.
Are they into cooking?
No, I know them a different way, because my dad was a
That's awesome.
longtime docent at the Kennedy Library, and then
Oh, cool.
he was one of the sort of a reenactor at the Edward Kennedy Institute next door. They do these, you know, great debates and, you know,
Oh,
Senate
yeah,
debates
yeah,
throughout
yeah,
time, and they do
yeah.
those modules for kids who come in. My dad used to do.
At the
Those,
JFK
yeah.
Museum, we've
So
got.
some of the guys he worked with work for Revolutionary Spaces, and they get together periodically, so I've met a few of them a
Yeah,
number of
so
times.
I think that would be a great program.
Yeah,
Um,
I would be happy to get. in
We've
touch with
also been
yeah.
talking about, so usually the story walk is on the common for, you know, the Christmas holidays. Maybe we leave it there, and the Historical Society could put things about local revolutionary people. You know, but there's all kinds of things that we could do with it, and
Well, with Susan on board now, we have it in there too,
Oh,
the
right.
historical. Society.
exactly, so, yeah, so I just, we're just at the brainstorming part right now, but I think it would be really something fun that'd be, I mean, I'm old enough to remember the bicentennial, and that was a big deal. I mean, it was, everyone was going
Maybe we
crazy.
Get a
and-
big ship to come.
Yeah, I
to
remember
stand
the
in-
tall ships, I
tall,
totally remember the tall
Yes.
ships. Yeah, it was really fun. So I don't know what it's all gonna look like, but if anyone has any ideas or ins and with anybody that could. be
Jackie,
part of it.
Dormiter would be interested too.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
that's a great resource. We'll talk more about what that's gonna look like, but you know, we were thinking starting in January and probably ending in 4th of July. Seems like. a
And actually, the
natural
other person you should talk to is Lynn DiGiacomo.
thing. Oh, really? Okay.
She's the
Okay,
executive
from
director
the-
of the
yeah,
Historical
yeah,
Society,
yeah.
and past library trustee, so
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
brings
yeah,
it together.
okay, but, and Jackie D, I didn't think of Jack, but, okay, yeah. So anyway, like, just, again, if you have any brainstorms that you think would be, would complement this, then we'll be happy to, look into it, so. Then just moving on to finance. Getting the fiscal year, so everything's great, plenty of money, but as always, we're, you know, trying to be, careful with our spending as usual. But so far so good, and I haven't, so the heiress is due this week, and then the financial report that comes up, and that's due, I think, October 4th. And that will determine how much state aid we get, so. Important reports to do, hopefully, I think it was level funded, so hopefully we'll get a similar amount for state aid, going forward. The Friends budget request, we're tweaking it a little bit now because they are changing their, fiscal year. And it used to start October 1st. This year, it's gonna start October 1st, but end June 30th. So it's gonna be a smaller budget request. And then after that, we'll go to July 1st to June 30th, which matches up with our own fiscal year, and everybody's decided that it probably would make more sense and be easier, so. And we are going to circle back with them in the middle of the year, see how their fundraising went. If it went really well, maybe they could fund something for this to 250th, maybe we get a really big author or something, you know, like there's some optionality if their fundraising is really robust, that they might have some extra funds that we could do something really bigger than what we normally do, so. We'll see, hopefully, everyone's very generous this year. I think that they've raised their balance quite a bit in the last few years. They've
Yeah.
really done some great
Mhm,
fundraising, and they have new people that are doing different kind of things than mostly it used to be the annual appeal, but they're doing, you know, those raffle tote bags, and they're doing right now out in the lobby is, it's the shell ornament that they have, but they've gotten donations from all over town, and so the shell ornament is $25. If you buy one, you get a gift or a gift card equal to $25 in addition to the shell ornament. So I think they've sold almost all of them now, and all of those gifts or giveaways were donated, so
Hmm.
everything that they bring in is profit, so it was a great idea, and,
Meg Wheeler is like.
That's
the
what
I know, she's, yeah, really creative, and, yeah,
So going back to the 250th,
yes.
does the town have a major plan for that?
I haven't heard anything,
Yeah,
but that
'cause I
doesn't
just-
mean that
It's
it's
just
not
like, I
good.
remember when everyone was supposed to do Christmas lights. And we did Christmas lights and we never saw
No,
Christmas lights
it's-
anywhere else. I
yeah,
just wanna
yeah.
be sure that there's like,
I don't know if the town, I mean, they were really excited about the town's 250th, and then, as you all know, COVID
Right.
hit, and that just petered out. I wonder if we could recycle some of their little sayings.
Joy Schiffman is the person to talk to for that. She chaired that committee. And I can put you guys in
Yeah,
touch.
yeah.
Have
Yeah, I
her
don't know, I
directly.
haven't heard if the town has any plans to do anything, but I'm gonna probably start with the Historical Society and see if they've got plans, so. We were
If you want me to
talking,
reach out to Joy,
actually,
let me know.
Katie from the Historical Society had reached out to Jen about doing, this is kind of what triggered it all. There's a woman that is a reenactor, and she portrays Deborah Sampson. I don't know if anybody knows that, but I know that that was we have a book in the children's room about her. I think we probably have something in the adult section too, but that was part of the curriculum in the schools. She was a Revolutionary War woman who dressed in men's clothes and fought on the men's as a in the battles.
Like Mulan.
Yeah. Like Mulan. At least that's my understanding of it. I haven't read the book. It wasn't assigned when my kids were there, but it's a very popular book. It goes out all the time, and so Katie had said, would you like to do a group program with Deborah Sampson? Turns out it's expensive, and they were gonna charge to have people come, and we don't do that. So Jen is trying to see if maybe the senior center wants to also contribute, and maybe we can also pay for this woman and not have to charge. So that's something that's in the works as well. So that's what kind of triggered all of this. So I do believe the Historical Society is probably doing something, but I don't know how extensive, so. But yeah, that's a good question, is the town?
Hmm.
I'm not really sure who.
I mean, that
would
wouldn't
be in
mean that
charge
we
of
couldn't or
that.
shouldn't, but I
Just coordinate.
Just coordinate, yeah, it wouldn't make sense if we have an reenactor and then they, someone else is doing the same thing, so yes, I will work on talking to the different parties involved, so. And then just some building issues, there's always building issues, we've definitely got some problem with the air conditioning, it's only working in about half of the building. I've repeatedly reached out to facilities, I've been told, we did find out it's the pressure valves or something that have failed, we've ordered more, they're gonna be put in this week. That was 2 weeks ago, reach out again, oh yeah, we know, they're gonna be going in this week, maybe even today. And they don't show up, it's just been super frustrating, and then now the schools they're gonna be working on the schools, and we have a hard time getting any of them to come over, so. Hopefully, I mean, we'll just wait till the warm weather dissipates, and then it'll probably be too cold in here, so. On better news, the ceiling tiles were finally fixed in the meeting room where the gentleman fell through. Partially fell through, I guess I should say. So, I mean, it is a well-used building, and I understand there's a lot of things that need, it's a lot of work, and I probably need more staff in facilities to keep up with it all, but there's some things that just really we have to have fixed, but I think we had 95,000 people come through last year. Yeah. So that's a lot, that means, wear and tear and everything, so. And back to facilities again, I haven't heard a date yet for the rug, the children's room rug. We tried to get it in in June before summer reading started, and then I guess there was a delay in the manufacturing, and then we said, well, we can't do it in the middle of the summer, it's too many kids in the room, and so. Hopefully, early September, when it's quiet, they'll be able to put that in, so. I'll let you know, I really am excited for it, so I hope it goes in soon. And then just other things, staffing, we've got some new faces. Patty, who's here tonight, it has been a sub for us, and she was at Eastern Nazarene College for 17 years, which is a, well, it's closed now, but a university library, but they also serve the public, which I didn't know that, but anyone who lives in the area can use that library. So she's got a lot of experience, not just with circulation, cataloging, collection development, all kinds of things. And so she's gonna be the circulation supervisor. And I think she'll be really great. And then starting, hopefully next week, we've hired another person for circulation, and that's to replace McKenna, who left in June. So that is Rebecca Jordan. She's just finished working at the public library in Manchester by the Sea, but she also worked at the Crane Library, which I think is in Hanover, and also I think Bridgewater. So she's got a lot of, which is library experience, but also within our network experience. So that means she'll know the library systems that we use. So I think she'll get up to speed really quickly. So we're excited
Where
because
does she live?
she was on the North Shore. She's moving
Right, that's
back to
fine.
Pembroke.
Okay.
And that's why, so we wanted her to start early, but she's like, I've gotta finish that job, take a week to move, and then start. So she'll be in Pembroke, so. Yeah, I think that was something. It's funny, when we post the positions, you get resumes from people from all over the country, but they don't put cover letters. So there's like, someone from Iowa would send it, like, well, how is that gonna work? And, you'd think they put a cover letter saying, I'm moving to Massachusetts, I'm really interested, but they just send a resume, so. I'm not sure what they're thinking, but we're lucky, we've got some local people, so. So if you do see them, say hi, and I will schedule them both to come to subsequent meetings so that everyone can formally meet them. And then Jen has been officially promoted to assistant director. We're super excited about that. She's already been really helpful. Unfortunately, we don't have the funding payroll budget to replace her. So she's gonna do both jobs, the adult services and the assistant director, for probably till about November, till we can afford it, so. She'll be busy, but we'll get through. Other than that, I met the construction manager who's gonna be doing the pavilion, just briefly. He was here on Monday morning looking over everything. And he's hoping to start in a couple of weeks. He's said he would send me a schedule. I haven't heard from him, just a tentative. I don't think it would be something that you could say, well, by this date, they're gonna be doing this or that, but he's gonna fence off everything. He's gonna take that first row of parking and then have the fence follow up that sidewalk and then come around here. So the sidewalk will still be accessible, so that people will be able to come through, so. He's sounded pretty confident that it would not be too difficult of a job, but we always know as you start getting into things that,
I don't know how the sidewalk is gonna be accessible when we're gonna replace it and move it.
not that
Okay.
sidewalk, the sidewalk on Sawyer,
Oh, okay,
the sidewalk on Sawyer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's gonna block off the
gotcha.
angled sidewalk.
Does
Yeah.
Dig Safe have to come?
They have come
They have
and
come.
marked.
They
They
have,
did,
okay.
okay,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and I think is Chris gonna do the,
Yeah,
being sure that the.
Chris gave a very generous proposal, as you know, and he's gonna be part of the pre-construction meetings.
Okay.
And as are you.
Yeah.
And then and anyone else you want, but I want, and when I talked to Michelle, I was like, and library people are gonna be
Yeah,
involved,
yeah.
just in case.
I really don't wanna drive
Um,
into work one day and see.
But she said, they're gonna do the hardscaping first, they're gonna move the trees after, because it's too hot to move the trees now.
Yeah,
But so they're hoping to be able to work around them, because they don't think they'll
yeah, so
survive
he
if they
was
move them
talking
first.
about the trees
Yeah.
and Michelle was suggesting moving them over to, they have an area on, the baseball field
Mhm.
that's cleared out, and he thought moving them there, where they could be away from things. I didn't get if that was gonna be pre-construction or during construction, I don't know,
I
I
don't know if
wasn't
they're gonna be
sure.
able to build around them, but
Yeah, I know.
that's
yeah.
their hope, they're gonna,
He
mark
seemed to
everything
feel
off,
like the
but.
big one would probably not survive anyway, when
Mhm.
it's moved. He thought the two smaller ones would probably be okay, but I'm sure that it's one of those things that it's a, roll of the dice if they're
Yeah.
gonna make it, but it's worth a try, for sure,
Yeah.
so.
And then the pergola will be last, like that might be a winter
Okay,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
excited.
And is Chris managing the whole process?
he is acting as like an owner's project manager for
Okay,
us, yes.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the tennis courts up at the high school and the management
Yeah,
on that, and I
yeah.
would hate to,
Yeah, he's gonna be
yes, okay.
checking on that, but they have marked the utilities. And, Derek is gonna have a right-hand man, they're hiring.
Yeah,
another
he didn't have a
person.
name, I think,
Yeah.
that was good, but he's
And he's
working on it, yeah,
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
Bristol, it was a town. A town.
yeah,
So,
yeah, so
That's-
it's very exciting.
he said they're finishing up another project and, but the plan is to start, he thinks, in 2 weeks.
So hopefully, I said, please let me know before you start, but,
They cut
we'll manage whatever it
Cutting
takes,
corners.
we'll make it work.
Now you have
so
this facility
Super
back here.
excited, so.
I bet we can't get a nice banner, just saying, it's happening, just so. people
I know,
drive
Coming
by.
soon, yeah.
I know.
Like, just
I
get
know.
people,
I think we
Excited.
will, I haven't heard about any, if the CLT had any plans to do any, fundraising or anything, so if I don't hear anything, I think I will just do some sort of a small groundbreaking. Put some things in the social media, on, the anchor, that sort of thing. And then maybe we'll have a big opening ceremony where we could have food trucks, or we could have, a bigger event. Because right now, we don't know if an exact start date for it, it's very hard to, you can't book a food truck that morning to say,
It's not
over,
finished, right.
that's the thing, so I thought maybe we'd just do something smaller. Get some balloons, we'll have, a little bit of media or something, and then we'll do a bigger. Event when it
Yeah.
actually is open.
Bring a shovel kind of thing.
Bring a shovel kind of.
And what about the donors? Have they been informed of the date that this
The
is?
donors have been informed of the process and, that,
It's here,
that we finally picked somebody.
right,
The
but they don't know
big
the date.
donors have been asked to confirm how they want to be recognized, and I have submitted a list to David Hassan to have a board made across
Right.
from the board in the foyer of in the same style, same color, same style, but it'll say Cohasset Library Trust gifts to the pavilion. And it'll just they won't be differentiated other than the highest levels will be listed at the top, and then it'll go down in alphabetical order, kind of by category. But I haven't heard back from, I gave it to him 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard back, I don't know if they're out of town or whatever, but I'll call him.
But no, my question was, have the donors been?
Yes, that's what I'm
So
saying.
they know when the project is gonna start?
Yes, because we emailed them to say, please confirm
Mhm.
how you're gonna be
Oh, okay,
recognized.
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we said exciting news and.
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
recognition. That it's for the people who did $5,000 and more.
Okay,
Because
okay.
it's to match what's in the foyer already. And then, but the people, everybody who gave got something in the middle of the summer saying,
When it was gonna
exciting
happen.
news, we
It's
got.
It's happening.
Yeah,
Fine.
we picked a builder, everyone was supposed to have, hopefully you did, Barb sent them out to all the donors.
Okay,
Um,
okay,
And
because
we
I still
had
get
hoped at that
questions.
time, August 15th would be the start date, but obviously that was
A little
target.
bit later,
Okay,
yeah.
people forget so easily.
Yeah, I mean, we still do, people come in every so often.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
wanna know what's
What's
going
going
on.
on.
I mean,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
say,
yeah.
"I gave you the
Understandably.
numbers." Yeah, understandably so, yeah, but that's okay, yeah, maybe we'll.
So the monitor, as you walk in also to the right, does anybody ever look at that? small
I don't
monitor?
know,
Oh, that's
it's
good.
currently
You
not
know, why not
functional
put it there?
because, the IT department didn't. The usage of the platform, but we're working on that, they've gotten us some, now we have to pay for the usage. And so once that, we get the paperwork through, we'll get to use it again. And then we could put something up. It's just, it's a lot, it's always something, yeah. We actually just bought a new one because the other one is starting to get, it's on all the time and it's starting to fail.
Like that
in certain
ghost
spots.
stuff.
Yeah, so, but we're not gonna put it up until we can actually put some content on it, so. Yeah. Anyway, but that's a great idea. I'll have to think of some way to put some signage or.
I'll just have the trustees have sandwich boards and just walk in.
Great, I would hard out, a schedule, who wants to go there?
I'm happy to.
We could put it on the website for sure, on the banner on the top, that it's starting and even things about parking and, that sort of informational type of thing that, that walkway will not be accessible, during the construction, so. Yep. Very good. And that's it for me. Nothing else unless anyone has questions about anything in particular.
Questions? No? Well, thank you, Berlin, that was very thorough, as usual. Okay, so bills.
Oh, yeah.
Angela, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
writing.
have just in front of you exactly what you need to
Yeah.
sign, but, nothing crazy, just. Actually, the first one was really short, because we do them every couple of weeks now. So I think it was the one Catherine came in to sign was just for like $3,000 or something. And then this past month, I don't think there was anything wild. Did anyone have any questions? Did you see anything wild on it? It was only, yeah, 10 grand, I wanna say. Just the regular stuff, just the stuff Bronwyn added about pronunciator, since we're
Yeah.
starting that,
Yeah.
and the Boston Globe. And,
Ancestry. Profile.
Yeah, it's just
Regular,
yeah.
Yeah, so nothing.
Yeah.
We're jumping the gun.
I am jumping the gun.
Yeah.
Please stop the,
Efficient, nobody had questions, so we just signed away.
Oh, okay.
Are there questions?
Yeah, everything should have been the regular stuff. Yeah. Lots of books.
Starting up again.
Yeah.
Yes, our materials requirement. But what we have to spend on materials is going up another $16,000.
19, I think it was.
Is it 19, something like that? Yeah, so we have to spend $171,000 this year on materials to maintain our certification, so. We met yesterday and had to tell librarians to start shopping because that's a lot of money to spend.
It seems ridiculous
It
to
seems-
force you to
yeah,
spend money on
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
don't, like, how does one, petition to, like Norwell didn't pass an override, so they're $30,000 under and they're
Yeah.
having to fundraise for it in order
To
to
just
maintain
meet
their
that, yeah.
certification and everything. It-
Yeah.
And chances are they're probably fine. I mean, is there any any chatter amongst the library community?
About trying to lower.
Yeah,
those.
like trying to.
There are ways to get waivers, you certainly can get
Yeah.
waivers, and we, because we're open so many hours, we actually can spend a little less. Right now, for the size of the town, you're supposed to spend 19% of what
Right.
is appropriated from the town, payroll and all other accounts. So 19% of that, but we could go down to 15% because of the number of hours that were open. I kind of, if we have the money, I think it's a good idea to continue to purchase. There's so many different things that we can add, and things like a current book.
Right.
I'd rather buy a few copies and have it
Mhm.
when people are looking for it, or we boosted up our Red Hot Reads numbers so that we have more things. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest complaints is that someone reads it in the New York Times about this great new book and comes in and the waiting list is 120 names, and so we're trying to
Yeah,
avoid that. kind of
Totally
thing.
agree with that. I just don't
But I
agree with
do- yeah.
manufactured purchasing just to meet a number.
Yes, and
If there,
Yes.
if there are,
I totally agree with
Things in
you, and
demand,
there
wonderful.
are ways to apply for waivers, and I think that they're fairly generous with that, if it's something, especially if an override wasn't passed. You have a good case for, there's not, the money is not here, and that's why, and then. Some of it is also they look at, so if the library budget was cut by the town 10% or 20%, but elder affairs was not cut, or seniors, or recreation or something else, that's an issue. If all the departments across the board are cut 10%, that's seen as acceptable. They're trying to, the reasons for all of this is to
because libraries will get short.
support
otherwise.
libraries, yes, exactly, and that's why they have these kind of things to stay certified, because otherwise it would be really easy to say, well, it's not a department that's bringing in a lot of money, let's cut library.
Mhm.
So the whole idea is to keep our funding as much as possible,
Well, and-
but I agree with you, I mean, sometimes it's a lot of money. And, Jackie had a little bit of a different system where she didn't parcel out the budget, the funds to different departments, and so I do remember a couple of times at the end of the year, it would be like, we've got to spend $20,000 in the next 3 weeks, so start buying, and that's not a great way to
Mhm.
manage your collection. I will say, if we do have extra funds, we usually buy things on overdrive because that is so popular, and the materials are really expensive, far more than if you just bought a book. And that's a whole other issue
Right.
that needs to be addressed, is the fact that they charge so much to libraries for e-materials, so that's normally what we would do if we had some extra funds.
Well,
because
I
it's so
think
popular.
another way to think about it too is our participation in the network, because if there are other libraries like Norwell, for example, who have cuts or who, then we're, we have a larger collection, then we're contributing to the network and
Absolutely, yeah.
the patrons there can borrow from the network. so.
And it actually, that is something that when they're doing our assessment from the network, if we're a net lender, if we lend our materials, then we get money back. It cuts the amount of money we have to do for our assessment, so it's good because our materials are circulating, but also it gets us a little bit of a discount, so. Yeah, it's, I totally can see both sides of it, and it is something to be aware of, to not just randomly buy things, but it is nice that we do have enough funding to purchase the things that people are looking for, so. It's,
Good, all right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Right, roll call. Elaine Breslow to pass the bills.
I,
Carolyn Coffey, aye. Steve Brown,
Hi,
Catherine Harvey's and I, Megan Vinci,
Aye.
and Mary Lou Lawrence.
Aye.
Motion passes. Great. What's next? Am I next?
Yes.
I don't really have anything specific. Last time we talked about, developing some ideas for hosting an occasional forum for discussion related to town issues. And, I'm not a frequent reader of the 143, but I do check in on it occasionally, and even more has come up since our last meeting, because now, although from what it sounds like, the town is gonna host a forum on the RTF question, on the enterprise fund.
Yeah, it's on
question.
it's on the board out there. It's on Monday.
Oh,
Yeah, they posted it on the board out there.
outside, yeah, so, which is great, because that's, essentially what we talked about. But providing, as far as whether we would provide a venue for those kinds of conversations going forward.
Mhm.
That was something that, a conversation that we started having, so
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody had any thoughts. I mean, it's hard to do anything in August really, but, so.
I still think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, yeah, so I think the thing that we sort of got stuck on was, that we would have to have a set of policies, so we'll have to sort of write a set of policies and, I think we all sort of had a consensus that we'll need to require some kind of moderator and, yeah, so that was sort of the status of that conversation, so I don't know if anybody had any thoughts on that since the last meeting, or if we want to table this until the fall. Table.
It's a motion to table.
Seconded and carries, yes, okay, all right, just wanted to keep it alive, so think about that and think about some suggestions for what those policies might look like, so maybe we can talk about that in September. And you talked about the Friends, they don't meet in the summer, and CLT has not met, so that's everything for me. Do I hear a motion
To adjourn,
to adjourn?
so moved.
Second?
Come on, somebody else.
I know.
Are you tired of seconding? I second it.
Yeah.
All right, all in
I'm
favor?
tired
to
of motioning,
adjourn?
but I wanna go home.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right.
Thank you,
Carries.
everyone.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you, Angela.
Keeping the pavilion going.